All right, so we are connected to this human resources data source. And the first thing you need to do is go and pivot hire date and term date. So I'm going to right click and go pivot. And now I'm going to have two fields created. Basically, the columns become rows, and I'm just going to change this to something like, let's call it event. So it's hire date or term date. And then the actual date, I'll just change to date and change the date source to date. So there we go. Now I've pivoted my data. First thing I need to do is change the date based on the rules. Basically, I need to push all the dates forward to the end of a particular, the start of the next month. So I'm going to type this out first. So I'm just going to do date add of month, and then I'm going to add 1 month from a date trunk from that month. So this is basically giving me the first of the next month with these calculations. So boom, as you can see, there's date trunk returning the start of the month and then bringing it to the whole month. So let's just add this out on columns, and maybe I'll break this out too, and so I can have my months on my view, and I'll just remove quarter here. So from there, I need to create another calculated field that essentially calculates my head count. So I'm just going to say head count, and then I'm going to use that event column with a case statement, and when it is the let's do the hire date first. So hire date, then just return a 1, and if it's the term date, then let's do term date, so -1 and end. Let's change that else to a when statement here. Perfect. Great. I'm going to hit OK. Now I can take this field and bring it out onto text, and I've got the numbers I want to return. I'm just going to move. First of all, let's exclude the nulls. Those don't need to be included in the analysis. They're extra. I kind of screwed that up to begin with. But then we're going to duplicate the dates here, the date field, because I'm going to had excluded the nulls, but here I'm going to just select 2000 through 2020 and hit OK. And that's all I need for this portion here. So now this just kind of goes all the way through, and I'm just going to double check, get 1 month into 2021. That's just based on the fact that I rounded those date values up. And now I'm going to place year on color for the time being, and I can see all my values, but those aren't the values I want to return. I actually want to do the cumulative or running sum from the beginning here of head count, and I got to make sure that I add the 1 closed bracket in here, and also sum. Tricky little X got in there. Let's get rid of that. Perfect. Now it looks kind of funky. I just need to change my table calculation. I'm going to go check both month and year, and I need to change the order of year and month here, and that's going to give me that running total by each month, and it's going up over time here. But I don't need to see basically any of the years 2000 through 2017, so I'm just going to right click and hide those values. Still on the view, obviously, just hidden now. So now I'm returning those values. And let me just drop this from the label. And let's also set my exclude zeros here. And then we'll put this on to confirm my dates. Perfect. Those are the dates that I'm shooting for. My next calculation, I'm just going to double click, and I'm going to do essentially a percent change calculation. Just hold on a second here. Let me save this calculation, and I'll call it official headcount. And I'm going to save this because I'm going to use it as my base calculation for this next one. I want to calculate the percent change year over year, and I'm going to use that basically to look back. I'm going to look back at 12 values here using the lookup function in a second. But first, let me just get part of my table calculation worked out. So I'm just going to say minus lookup and then official head count. I'm going to copy that and paste it in, and minus 12. So it's going to look back 12 values, and then I want to calculate the official change there. Yep, perfect. I got the percent change here. Now I'm just going to double check both parts of my table calculation. They look good. let's edit this axis and uncheck include zeros. So you can see that percent change. And then my labels here, I don't need those totals. I'd rather see the percent. So let's place that on text, and maybe we'll just drop this label here. And then let's change this to a percentage so that we can check the percent. So format, and then the pane as a percentage. And I'll leave 2 decimals just to showcase we're getting the right thing. And then finally, I'm going to just do a window sum of my essentially head count. So what's changing over a 12-month period. So I'm going to do minus 11 and 0. So that's a 12-month period here. And then that's as simple as it is. And I just, once again, edit my table calculation, select year and month, year before month, because we need to have the right order of dates. And that's actually the correct shape. Let's edit my axis. Sometimes it's easier to just see. Yep, that's perfect. That's it. That's the viz here that we needed to create. Workout Wednesday 2022 week 14. Thanks again.